Hello everyone, welcome back, and we're here in quite a thick cloud layer in soupy conditions over Luxembourg, and today's topic is ILS down to minima, and these conditions are really going to test that concept. So let's jump into the cockpit. We're now turning inbound to the initial approach fix from the south for runway 24 at Luxembourg. I'll bring up the plate quickly. As you can see, we are now going towards Lima X-ray 243, and then we're gonna continue down for the ILS. And we're mainly gonna cover just the normal ILS today. And we're going to cover two different ways of intercepting it. One is via LNAV, and the other one is via vectors. I've already gone ahead and set up the aircraft, but we'll just read through this approach, and then we can check that everything is okay and how we do it. So the approach localizer frequency is 1107, final approach course 237. And MSA is 4,000 feet. The initial approach fix, final approach fix is 3,000 feet at Lima X-ray 24 Foxtrot. That's 5.6 miles, and so that's where we need to start down. We have a minimum of 1413, so that's going to be 1420 on this aircraft, and a minimum RVR of 505 meters. I know, because I've set a static weather today, that we are just above this, about 730 meters. So you're going to see that it's going to be a very, you're going to get very close to the minima before you see the approach lights. So let's just double check this then. Down here we have 10.7 on both sides. In backup I have 14.4. That's a VOR just north of the airport. That's part of the missed approach. So we have that as standby. Down here you can see that the ILS Zulu 24 is tuned, and it's in the flight plan with all the fixes, and we also have the missed approach in here as well. So we don't really need the VOR for the missed approach. It's just as a backup in case anything happens. Next, the course. To set the course is a little bit special in the Dash 8. You press and hold the format key to bring up this picture, and then you can use the course knob on autopilot to tune whatever course you need. Press and hold to go back to normal, and do the same on the right side. If you're a two-pilot operation, everyone or each pilot would do their own setup and then compare and brief it. Minimum descent altitude for a normal ILS approach. The decision height is for Cat 2 and 3. So we set 1420. We only have 10 feet difference in the adjustment here, so we need to go up to the next closest one. Let's plan a descent. We can do a shallow descent, 1500 feet per minute. That's going to start in just a moment. So we can set 3000 feet. Altitude select, VNAV armed, and we're just going to follow this in. This is a very normal way. If you're not getting vectored, you're coming in on VNAV, LNAV, everything happens pretty automatically. You've set up everything in background, so you're just waiting for the inbound turn where you have to switch over to the ILS. On an RMP, as we've already covered, this is much easier. You don't have to change anything, it just follows the LNAV and VNAV path towards the runway. Since ILS is another technology, we have to tune a different nav source about the autopilot panel to intercept that. And now you can see it's starting its inbound turn automatically. This is basically where it's gonna capture the ILS. So what I'm doing now, I'm swinging the heading bug around. I'm pressing heading, vertical speed, changing the nav source to ILS, and then I'm pressing the approach button. We're now getting a localizer and glide slope armed. You can see the vertical speed is a little bit high because we were in a turn, so I'm gonna shallow it out. Localizer captured. Glide slope is above us. It's going into altitude capture mode because, well, we were a little bit aggressive. If you plan this better, you're gonna pretty much catch the glide slope as you're coming into the turn, but it might also happen the way this did. Just watch the speed now. We're a little bit high. We're 7 miles out, so we're a little bit behind, but we have a short flat segment until we capture the glide here now. So I'm just gonna bring it down to between 190 and 200. Catch it with a bit of power. And flaps 5, gear down, glide slope captured, and let the speed keep coming down. At 180 we can set flaps 10. At 172 we can set flaps 15. We're gonna do condition reverse max and ask for landing checklist. Gear down 3 green, flaps 15 set and check, condition reverse max, wings checked left and right, cabin clear received, checklist complete. You get some nuisance messages when you're doing it like this, and that's totally normal as well. So right now we have 3000 set for the first part of the missed approach. I'm gonna bring the speed down to about 140, 130, and I'm aiming for about 125 when we're getting closer. For a go-round, we'll cover that in another video. You would call the side 30 feet above the minimum altitude. We can start to see the ground. Don't focus on that, focus on looking straight ahead and on your minima. We're less than 100 to minima, and we can see the approach lights. This is the decide point. Autopilot disengaged. Keep the speed coming down. It's a bit high. We have a long runway.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
So that's it, and I'm gonna reset, see you back in the air, and we will do the same, just with vectors instead. So we are back in the air. I've just put us on sort of a downwind, left downwind 424, and we're still using the same LNAV profile, same VNAV as well. I put in about 1500 feet, and we'll start out using that because that's most likely what you're going to do in real life as well. You're going to be on LNAV, VNAV, and then suddenly ATC decides, well, you're too close for the preceding traffic, or maybe you can get a shortcut and get a vector directly to the final approach fix. So let's say Lux Air 123 and fly heading of 030 vectors for ILS 24. Very well. I'm gonna press heading, and now your vertical profile goes out the window a little bit. So I'm just gonna start down, depending on the clearance, of course. So let's say we're cleared 3,000 feet, set 3,000 feet, altitude select, and they might also say, well, this is to get you ahead of preceding aircraft. So you know you're gonna fly less distance than you would do. So I'm gonna, go down a little bit more than I planned, just to be safe. And since we know we're getting vectors for ILS now, we can already change our source. The setup is the same, we're just changing over earlier. Descent might be a little bit too fast, but we can also see that we are above the glide slope. So I can keep it going until I'm just about par with the glide slope, and then calm down and follow it down. So we're catching up to it, so I'm going to do 1500. Luxembourg 123, turn left, heading 270, cleared for ILS runway 24. So we're going to do that. We're about 12 miles out. I'm going to keep the speed coming down. I'm going to shallow out my descent. And right now we're still above 90 degrees for the intercept. So I'm not going to press the approach button until I'm less than 90 degrees, and maybe even a little bit more, just to give the autopilot a better chance to catch it. Watch the speed. The localizer is going to come alive very soon, and if you're very close you might overshoot it. That happens as well, so you might have to get a vector back. It's not uncommon. We're closing in on 3,000 feet. Localizer is coming. Approach. Localizer captured. Swing the heading bug around, and it's a bit slow on following the flight director there. Again, different aircraft have different personalities on this. And ITC would most likely see that you're turning far away, so they say, do you need a vector back to the localizer, and maybe give you 210 or something, but we see that it's catching it nicely by itself. About 9 miles. So we're gonna keep the speed down to 200, so we're ready for the config. You can see the glide slope is now coming alive, so we might get a very short flat segment here. Very important to watch your speed when you're leveling off. It's very easy to get distracted and then suddenly the speed plummets. I'm gonna do flat 5 now. Altitude captured. Glide slope captured. 5 miles, gear down. Flap 10. Flap 15. 3,000 feet for missed approach. Collision levels max, landing checklist. Gear down through green, flaps 15 set and checked. Collision levels max, swings cleared left and right. Cabin clear received, checklist complete. And now it's back to the same as every approach. Watch your speed, watch your minima, keep a lookout. In a 2-pilot operation, one would pay attention to the inside, pilot flying, and the other one would look outside. As you can see, I've inhibited terrain warnings. As you might have noticed, the Dash 8, I don't know if it's the FlyJSim or just X-Plane, it's very trigger happy for terrain warnings and pull-ups, so I'm just muting it. The name of the game on an approach like this is keep it stabilized. Keep everything going with a very calm and measured change of power. Don't have big sudden changes in speed and descent rate. Here we have the approach lights just above minima as last time. Condition levers, no autopilot disengage. Let's just keep the speed. My mistake
50,
for wobbling
40,
a little bit there.
30, 20, 10.
And we're down. Into beta. And just like that. So that's covering the two different ways of intercepting an CAT1 ILS approach. I wanted to talk about CAT2 today as well, but the approach we flew now was a CAT2 actually. The CAT2 will have lower minimas, about 100 feet lower, and you would also use your decision height radio altimeter for that. But for some reason, even though it's tuned correctly, I didn't get the activation of the CAT2 dual mode, and I've asked the developers about that. So we'll cover CAT2 in a separate video another day, if we can get that fixed or find an airport where it works. So that's it for today. Short video, and I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below for other topics you would like me to cover. I know there are other videos from other creators out there that's covering more technical aspects of the aircraft itself. That's not really my interest, but I might go into some systems and details later on. But for now, I would like to focus on these more how to fly, the basics, what do you actually do, not get too theoretical about it, as I find that is more applicable for sim operations, and it's what you do online as well. So that's it for today. Hope you have a nice day wherever you are in the world, and wish you welcome back on the next video. Bye bye.